Oh.
Is this thing on?
Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Yes, this is on. Well, good afternoon and welcome back. Welcome to Rab's Country Lanes. Nazareth and I are here live from Rab's.
Yeah, we've got some activity going on behind us. I need to shut the lanes off, okay? We had some work going on behind us, and that's why we're delayed a little bit, but it looks like work is temporarily stopped.
I think we might be safe for a little while. All of a sudden, we're sitting here and we're ready to go live, and we've got Jimmy.
Lanes going on, pins being reset. I think Jimmy's looking for his 15 minutes of fame.
Jimmy's looking. He's trying to keep busy. I mean, he's trying to keep the place running, which is great. We need Jimmy to be doing that.
We absolutely do.
That's important. That's what keeps the lanes moving. I mean, without the machines and the lanes, we're
nothing. He does have every other hour in the day to do this, besides when we come on. But here we are.
You know what? He doesn't have his apprentice today, so Michael is not here
to guide him
and tell him otherwise. But excuse the man in the behind the curtain. We do have we have a little of a studio audience today.
We do. They are all separated by at least 6 feet.
They are. So thank you all for joining us today. Liz is working on her applause sign for our audience when necessary. We are worldwide today. We have a friend, a fellow Rotarian, Debbie Matthew, joining us from Scotland.
Oh,
check that out.
Well, a ratings bonanza once again.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. Hey, we have a special guest with us today. We've got our friend Greg Mocker. Greg is the WPIX extraordinaire, I'm going to call him.
I'll take that.
Well, welcome, and thank you for joining us today, Greg.
Hey, we got to make a date. I can't wait to be back there in bowl. Can't happen soon enough. So let Jimmy work on get his stuff done.
I like. So while we were getting ready, Greg was preparing his scenic background.
I like that thing. Yeah, it is.
We like the addition,
and it's shiny.
It's fancy.
So.
I got worried that when you
reveal. Now, sorry, all you Yankee fans, but that would be something. It could switch. It could be a Mets one and then a Yankees one. That would never work.
Well, Greg, thanks for coming on and joining us today. If you know anything about Greg, Greg's at a fun time. You get to catch him and his antics on WPIX 11, and he's been a gracious host of our Bowling Against Breast Cancer Bowl-a-thon. Greg, how many years have you been joining us for that?
I think it has to be at least 9 or 8, because what, a year 15 or 12?
We're now hitting 17.
17, yeah, it has to be at least half of them.
We just had 17.
I've been in New York since 2008 and working on Channel 11 since 2010, and the highlight of my year is always that. My mom and dad say hello, you know how they like to come out there too. They're in Ohio kind of dealing with all of this. I'm in my apartment in Harlem, just kind of working from home for the rest of this week. The news has been a lot to kind of take. I'm trying to keep everybody informed with transit and that too. So, and also just kind of check in with everybody, kind of remember that the world will move on past this. We just got to get past this.
So Greg, you're working from home, like somebody who's a social animal like you that likes to be out and about. It's got to be difficult for you.
Yeah, I've been practicing kind of just being still for a little bit, because that's something that's hard for me. But it's been kind of nice to, and I don't mean that in a kind of nice way. I mean, I guess I'm just kind of, I'm finding a way to settle with it, because you can really kind of get in your head a lot. So I tried to go out and take a walk. I have been in the office. We've kind of changed how we've been even presenting the news. Now we do conference calls. I haven't been in the newsroom. Last week we started not going in there. We just kind of meet up with the crew, follow along on the TV with the politicians, the MTA making their announcements. But it's it's odd.
I mean, especially because you're always on the street. Now, the rats might be missing you right now.
That's I saw some of them on the way to the grocery store, and yeah, and it's because I like to go up and talk to people. I get hugs, you give a hug, high five or something, shake hands. So that was kind of the first thing. I remember a couple of weeks ago when it was don't shake hands anymore. Do a fist bump or an elbow bump, and that seemed weird. And now to be kind of at this point, certainly, I think all of those things really emphasize the message, which is we got to just do this so we can get it over with. So I'm for that. Shout out to certainly first responders and fire and the people working at the grocery stores and retail that are keeping us fed, that are keeping things going. Transit workers, I can't ever say thanks enough to them. Because the people need to get to where they need to get to, especially healthcare workers, and the MTA's changed service a little bit today. It shouldn't be that noticeable, but they have done that to allow some of their workers to be able to stay at home too.
Yeah. So, what do you anticipate your first day back on the job and outside? What do you anticipate? Are you going in for the hug or what?
Say again?
Well, your first day back on the job.
Oh yeah, yes. It's kind of hard not to. That's been the weirdest thing for me. People are keeping their distance too from me. So maybe that'll be. I'm sure that will quickly return to normal. I mean, I'm hopeful for that. I feel like we could look at the science of this and what's happening in other places, and it's cycling through, but we got to make sure we kind of learn a lesson from this. And I think a high five will be and a hug will be. I'm certainly looking forward to that.
So we've been talking about how this will change, and the same goes in the same realm. Change social norms, and so when it comes to the MTA and how we travel, subway, ferry, just everywhere, the way
buses,
New York,
buses, yeah,
throughout New York City. What does that look? What in your opinion? What might that look like? What might that become?
I think the trains are and the buses are cleaner. They have this disinfecting thing that they've been doing for the past 2.5, 3 weeks. They had us there to demonstrate it. I have noticed it didn't smell like garbage necessarily. I have been on the train and on the bus, keeping my distance. They aren't busy at all. I feel like moving forward, it certainly is going to emphasize the need for investment in public transit. The MTA is taking a hit on this because the fare box, your swipe, is about half of the operating revenue, and they're down like 80, 90%. If that goes on, it's already having an impact. Now they're saying it could be a $7-8 billion hole in the budget, and that's going to impact kind of the improvement projects that we need moving ahead. Whether it's something that they're talking about on the North Shore or better enhanced bus service, more express bus routes, more buses. This is a ripple effect that's going to be there for a long time. That's just one of the worst parts of this. The health part is excruciating to watch. The economic impact is that too. And I feel that we'll get through it all together. I can only imagine how it must be for families at home to be have the kids there and to be working through the school aspect. I can only kind of go back to my optimistic nature and where my mom and dad would be like, all right, we got to make the best. We have to make the best out of this situation, which you guys are. So thanks for kind of helping me along. It's nice to kind of just laugh with some people that we know and, kind of feel a little comfortable, check in and, have it not be kind of the news on 24 hours a day,
right.
7 days a week.
Right.
And I will tell you, I go home, it's not the first thing I want to put on. And yes, we owe it to ourselves to be in touch and understand. I have to say, I do look, I never thought I'd say this, but we said no politics, but I look forward to Cuomo's updates each day.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing a great job at doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he sticks to the facts. Tell me what you know. I believe him on that. That this is also just kind of exposed a lot of the things that we haven't invested enough in. If that's hospital beds, if it's closing hospitals to build condos, you know, and like the cost of healthcare and the supplies. So this is a big kind of moment that has revealed kind of things you always thought. It's certainly has to be one of the most trying times kind of in human history, just for the worldwide impact, the prolonged impact of this. And that's something that it's something that we will deal with for a long time moving forward. And I hope that those lessons are learned by the people that make the policy, and the people that you know, we as citizens too have to kind of demand better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and you know, it regurgitates itself every so often, so it's hard to watch and watch all day. I turn it off immediately and trying to find new shows on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, and it's been great to get away from that. But I never realized how much time we could truly spend watching TV. And when it comes to somebody like you watching the news, you make that entertaining. So you look forward to the beats that you do on the street, because that takes it away from
breaks up the
and that changed. That's what I always love, being able to talk about transit, but then going to a tour of something. I got to go to the Steinway Piano Factory in Astoria last month, before or maybe 2 months ago, because you know, once this became the necessary focus of things, all those other stories kind of start to fall away, because we got to focus on the message. And you know, this, I think it shows how serious we need to take it. I can't wait till I get back to doing what the best slice is. I always bring that pizza. Yeah, I'm trying not to eat. I'm keeping my local pizza in business. So I'm trying to kind of navigate through that too, because I love Doritos too, and that you know, that's not going to be good. So you know, there's a lot of kind of where you get to examine your kind of your reaction to this.
We got plenty of Doritos that we probably could send your way before they go stale as they're sitting there. They go in the machine.
No, don't. No.
As you know, talking about pizza, you know, everybody knows the rules, right? One bite. And it's funny that you say that. I don't know if you've tuned into that knucklehead. But he's having a good time reviewing frozen pizza. So be careful. Not all frozen pizzas are treated equally there, Greg.
I understand that, you know, and I love the range of pizza that we have available. You know, I love Gennaro's, so that's always going to be some. But you know, in a pinch, I'm going to get the Celeste in the frozen. I love her picture. I just find it so comforting, and I noticed he's just smiling there. And it's a small size, so it's good. I'm trying portion control. And then I noticed yesterday, or when I got that, it says pizza for one on it, so which is kind of depressing, but also you know, it's me and Celeste.
So you kind of have company, somebody keeping you company.
Sometime, but then that's why it's nice to check in. My parents are around. I talk to I'm probably talking to them more than I would in the past. So that's kind of that's a blessing in this. We should call them every day, because they can help kind of lift our spirits. Although my dad tries to give me news updates, and I'm like, I already know all this. So, let's talk about something else. You know, how's the front yard look? Just kind of what did you watch? I have exhausted my things that were in the queue for Netflix. I finished up Grace and Frankie. I always liked.
Great show.
The dynamic with them is so funny, and they're so that's good. So trying to have other things to occupy us. But I'm still running around a lot, and all of our news media colleagues are kind of doing that. So we're trying to navigate that too.
So Greg, the way they're doing the news now is totally different than they've done it before. Do you see that going past when we're out of this? Do you see it actually changing the way news is reported?
Yeah, because we're at home. Like I could broadcast, connect to Channel 11 with this, and you've seen the reporters or the talking heads, the soundbite people, the experts are calling in using their FaceTime or one of these, the Zoom app or a teleconferencing thing or a Skype. So that's always been the case because it's technology. I think there's more technology now that is being tested. So it might mean that option is out there. The oddest part is that we have our coordination meetings, on the phone, and that makes the logistics sometimes more awkward. So it's kind of more to juggle, versus kind of a quick conference room meeting to get the plan and then to roll somewhere. This kind of makes it clunkier. The producer for some of our newscasts is actually working from home, so they are set up at their kitchen table, and we had to download some new apps that allowed them to use their phone as the kind of the way that they can talk to me in an earpiece. So the technology is out there to kind of do it remotely, and I'm always gonna say that a human being needs to be involved in it. So I don't think that. I don't think it's going to mean that everybody's going to not be going into the office anymore, because we certainly have workers and offices that function and have an important role in society. And also just being the social animals that I think we are.
Right.
That's kind of the thing I miss, just kind of seeing somebody and saying hi and go and sit at your desk and play solitaire for 5 minutes. But, because now you're just doing solitaire
by yourself.
too much. Yeah.
It's funny because you're seeing what's great about, we were talking about people connecting. We're seeing more and more people spending time and screenshotting their Zooms and their Skype calls, and it's something that's awesome, because we do lose connection. Especially we could just text all day we want. And just, that's fine, but to see somebody's face and interact with them is so different. And I actually feel like it's a wonderful thing that comes out. What could come out of this? And people are even hearing kids outside and seeing people walk around outside is nice to see.
Yeah, like the beeping horns. I never thought I would miss the beeping horns. The traffic kind of people arguing at the corner about who has the right of way or something, or where's the best restaurant. That kind of the vibrancy of the sidewalk. Once it got turned off, you really kind of say what a difference it makes. But it's a necessary. It certainly is a necessary thing. You got to kind of.
And you hope that once we are unleashed back into society, that people will appreciate it more. They'll appreciate that connection that they have with other people and their co-workers, and hopefully will be a kinder, better place after this.
Yeah, that's always a good hope, because we get, especially around here, probably quick to argue with somebody in traffic or on the bus, or the subway is crowded, and maybe there is a little bit of patience that comes out of it. And I think we'll have a little bit of that, and then I'm sure we'll go back to it. As direct as we can.
Well, I mean, if more people start crowding parks and sidewalks, which they shouldn't be crowding parks, I think that's insanity. Just walk around your block. We were just talking about this. Walk around your block, but instead of honking, they're going to be cursing at each other. Get the F out of the way. Let me through. So we might hear more of that from our windows than the honking.
Yeah, because it's it's natural and human to be frustrated by this, and I'm frustrated by it, to be angry at it too, and to kind of have you a little bit on edge. But yeah, I found that just take a few steps outside. I fix your hair too. So just kind of those regular normal things are they seem comforting.
That's what we hope, right? I mean, that's what comes out of it. Hey, Lisa has a question for you. And if you're exhausting your Netflix, have you checked out Love is Blind? I haven't, so I don't know what she's talking about.
I haven't either.
Maybe Lisa is suggesting to add that to your list. Love is Blind?
Will do, Lisa. I'll add that to the list. Yeah, I have Netflix and Amazon. I don't have the Hulu. I saw they were Hulu was talking about some million tiny fires or something.
That's supposed to be good.
Little fires everywhere or something.
Fires, yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I saw that the cable on demand had a lot of movies that were in the theater, and now they were, kind of putting that there. But I'm kind of watching my my DVDs too. Moonstruck is one of my favorite movies. So
that doesn't surprise.
I've watched that a couple of times in pieces. I'm acting it out in the. You got your favorite movies. You know all the lines. You can kind of talk to Nicolas Cage and share there if you need to. Hey! Olympia Dukakis. Yeah, snap out of it. That's on all of it.
That was close to my face. What are you doing?
You guys got I like the set there is pretty good. You have the makings for the next big late night talk show.
How
about that?
If anybody's noticed, it's changed every day just for our own sanity to keep plucking things out of the office that we want to share with maybe some hidden messages.
Hidden messages. Those are the
best. There's a hint there too. I was just going to say, we're talking about TV. We're so far behind, but we just started watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, I haven't watched that
Everybody
either.
talked about the show, never caught it. And I'm telling you, I'm sorry I missed out, but we just binge watched the first season. It's hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. I mean, we have a lot of time for TV these days. So.
Yes, we do.
And their attention to detail for that time in New York is really is kind of nice because they shoot it on location, and then it looks to be able to take it back to the 60s, right? Is that the
late 50s, 60s?
Yeah.
And the music, the whole thing. My mother loves the music. Like she grew up with that music from my grandmother singing, and she just started singing, and we're like, "What are you singing?" But it's cool. To your point, it's awesome. Hey, so we get out of this whenever it happens. What's the first story you want to tell?
I like that kids are back at school, and that the people are saying hi on the bus again. That you always have your same kind of commuters, just kind of the normal thing, kind of back to that. And I'm really interested to see how the federal government and the state kind of take care of workers that can't pay the rent, that have lost their jobs. That's always going to be something, because I have a job that can continue on now, but I know the people that hotel service workers, anybody in a restaurant that the waiters were furloughed for however long, and in this kind of paycheck to paycheck world, that we need to kind of just mind how that moves ahead, and that make sure that the political people are accountable to what they say that can be done. I run out to my little corner place and got a hamburger there. So the delivery is still something that's functioning here. And I talked to business owners about how that's a kind of it's a lifesaver now for that. And then for it to be able to come back, you got to kind of support what we can and just get through this.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times we take for granted our small businesses, but the small businesses are truly the backbone of our
absolutely
economy. And I mean, we see it here. We've got a lot of employees, and this is day 9.5 that we're shut down. It's not easy. It's certainly not easy knowing that we've got a lot of employees out there that are doing what they can, and so we ride that. It's something that hits really hard, especially because we're such a tight-knit group within our community. But we know we'll get through it, just like everybody else. But it's important, to your point, we need to support those who are out there supporting us, supporting our community, but those that are open right now. I mean, people are ordering pizza from here, and Marco and Tina, we know they appreciate it. We appreciate everybody that's calling and checking in and ordering food. It's important. It's important to us, and it's important for your own sanity. I mean, how much could you? I mean, I love cooking in my house. At some point, you're going, okay, what's next? You want your favorite takeout. You want your favorite restaurant food. So take advantage of it as much as you can, especially now.
Yeah, and bowling. I'll have to put that on the list when you guys are reopened. We need to get down there. So that's.
We can't wait for that. We can't wait for that noise. We got a little bit of it before. Hey, I got another question for you. What has been? We asked Joe DiModio, our sports editor, was on yesterday. We were talking about favorite stories, and they were reminiscing about an old story that he wrote. What is your favorite segment that you've done that you go back to and go, wow, that's something? Well, and maybe it was nominated for something, but something that really sticks home that was your favorite story to tell.
Yeah, it's always hard for me to pick one because I get to do a variety of things. I got to go to the top of the George Washington Bridge, which was a lot scarier than I thought it was going to be. They have one of those. The walkway is not solid, so you're kind of looking down, and it was very windy. I felt like the hat was going to fly off and hurtle down. And then I've been in the subway tunnels. The thing that always comes to mind is when somebody asks about that is one of the first stories I did when I worked in Georgia, this is probably 15 years ago. A little girl needed a blood transfusion, and they were running low on her type. And it was on the news, and the next day they had a blood drive, and there's that human kind of story. That one has kind of always stuck with me. I love going. Well, love is the wrong word. No, I go to the MTA meetings to kind of see how as an exercise in frustration sometimes, but just to kind of see how the system operates. I really enjoy. I do that. That is something I enjoy, kind of finding out how things work. And there's no better place to kind of see how things, the reality of them, than in kind of New York City. There's so many people doing interesting, creative things here. I got to see backstage with the Avenue Q puppets. So there's just a million kind of things, and all kinds of neighbors and people that became friends or that you just got to know. And that's something that's special to me. That's why this is neat. I love this. Facebook can be frustrating at times, and there's a lot of stuff to sift through, but just that kind of hello from somebody can make your day, make things kind of go a little easier, even before all of this. So there's just kind of that human connection thing. That's always a thing that stays with me.
Without a doubt. So I don't know if you got to watch when Anthony was on with us the other day. Anthony made sure to tell people, don't unfriend me, just hide me.
Right. Right. Yeah, because I know as I was trying to provide information last week with a kind of a screenshot of whatever it was the governor was saying, and I was irritating myself. I just felt like, oh, this is a lot. It's all piling on. This is all, but so it needed to be said. But yeah, don't unfriend. Let's be friends. I've hidden some people. And that's all right. You could take a break. So we're just on a break. So the world, we're on a little bit of a break now. Yeah. So I just need some time. It's not you.
It's not you.
Yeah, it's me. So we'll get back together.
So when they see Greg walking into an MTA meeting, do they shake their heads?
Sometimes. I think that the agency has changed in the past. I've been covering them for 10 years, and they never were as customer oriented as they are now. And so I think anybody that is in New York knows that it has been worse. The elected leaders are kind of more involved, so it's moving along. It could always be better, and that's why this is going to make this even more kind of challenging time. But I always bring. I'm just kind of curious for how things work. No matter who I talk to, no matter the politics of anybody, just kind of like, so why is this happening the way it is? It's kind of just a curiosity that I try to take whatever it is I'm covering and getting. But I could definitely use some bowling pointers. One of the stressful times of my whole year is the first that first strike that sometimes is the first gutter ball. But, that's okay.
We try not to put too much pressure on you.
Yeah, can't you get me the ones that has the bumpers in it and it's down?
We have just the person to help you, Greg. Don't worry. Ray's going to help you out this year. Come a little early. We're going to give you a couple lessons.
Yeah, my dad and I would always, and my brother, we'd go bowling at kind of the Elm Road lanes or Lucky. I think it was that in my hometown. So that's always been kind of a fun thing to do. I think that's why the bowl-a-thon has always meant a lot to me, and for just the exceptional work that it does in funding the hospital and the clinic, and just celebrating the families. That's a great thing. The smiles there, it's just fun, a good time all the time.
It's funny because we talk about that event a lot and what it does, and it's much more than just raising money, and it's the relationships that we've built. And I mean, even for you, I get a real kick out of it when you year after year they can't get enough of Greg.
Yeah,
they look forward to seeing Greg and you celebrating with us. And I mean, the relationships alone that have forged from that event, that continue to grow, I think is what gives us even more goosebumps. It's
because then we're reminded that we're neighbors, and New York City can be overwhelming, and it's loud and it's obnoxious, and there's a lot of people, and it can be strange, and it's kind of all of those things now, but quiet too. So knowing that there's neighbors out there is always a fun thing. And I hear that's how I get to hear some nightmare stories about things that are going wrong from people that I meet. So you can send me a note anytime or so.
And how? So
I love Dawn and her family.
How are they sending you that note? Yeah. So if our viewers want to send you that note, where are they sending it to, Greg?
Yeah, you could Greg Mocker on Facebook, or my email is just my last name, MOCKER @pix11.com. And I'm always kind of staying in touch. That's a good thing, but that I like about my job too. It's just how do things work? We pay these taxes, we send the money off, comes right out of our check. So what's the what is the benefit to us? What are we accomplishing? How are things going to be better tomorrow because of what's going on? Now, this certainly highlights all of that.
Well, Greg, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Make sure to tune into Greg on PIX11. Check him out, and especially after all this, we can't wait to see what you're doing out on the street.
Yeah, that's I'm waiting for that day too. For now, we'll just kind of push on through this and entertain ourselves inside for a while and read a book. I guess I could read. That's good too. Yeah, I do. I always read on the phone, which people say is bad for my eyes.
It's not great for your eyes.
So we got to take care. So I'll good. Thanks for having me on, and I look forward to seeing you in person.
You got it. We'll see you soon. Thanks again, Greg. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Yes. Do I have to do anything, or you'll just because I'll forget it's on, and I'll just read it.
We'll see you later.
Ooh, naps.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much again, Greg. I mean, he's always a hoot to watch. So I'm sure he said he's going to start getting antsy soon.
Oh, he looked pretty antsy there. It was hard for him to sit still, but we're so happy that he decided to join us today. So
I mean, we get antsy sitting still. This isn't easy for us, especially that we're used to walking around the bowling center and talking with people. And I mean, we're talking to the same people every day, and I love everybody. At the same time, it's nice to see.
The circle is really small right now. Very small.
And we're very careful about who we allow into the building. we ask a lot of questions. Where have you been? What are you doing? We really do probably should put that thermometer at the door.
We'll scan the temperatures. Scan.
So we have our meme of the day, which kind of flows into the theme. So I'm going to share our meme of the day first. I think that's
it's pretty funny. I think Greg will appreciate this meme too.
Oh.
With the All-Star chant. Oh,
I pressed play.
Oh, no, yeah.
David, let us out again. I mean, that's true.
We got quite a kick out of that, if you couldn't tell. That's the number one so far. We like that the best.
Liz Philpott shared that with us. I mean, that's great. And you guys have sent in some really good ones. So we're looking forward to share them. Although you keep sending them, and to pick one each day is certainly hard.
It's tough. It's tough.
There are some really funny ones, and some inappropriate ones we really...
Which we can't share, but we share amongst each other.
So yesterday, we were sitting here and doing our show, and this kind of started earlier in the day. We've got a group chat with our fellow employees, the crazy work family, I should say. And they were asking for Jell-O shots. Terry's driving everybody crazy. I mean, if you follow Terry on Facebook, I mean, her posts alone are great.
Pretty funny.
And she's every day.
She's got a lot of time on her hands, Terry.
and playing with the cat and running around the house and quarantine. But they got so bored that they wanted Jell-O shots, and so we made some Jell-O shots, and I made an offer to them to come and pick some up if they wanted. And so while we were sitting here, we get a series of 3 videos. I'm only going to share one. The other 2 have some language that we probably shouldn't share. Here's a video from our friends that were in the bar while we were sitting here busy talking with you.
Hi. While you guys are on the air, guess what we're doing? Jell-O shots. Cheers. Cheers. I feel shame.
Oh my God.
So good.
That was good.
I think I just cured the virus.
Come on.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Oh, we're not sharing part 2. Part 2, I don't know if it's part 2 or 3. Tina says an expletive. Or Marco says, oh no, it's Marco.
Yes, it's Marco.
Were those good, Tina? They were very good. What was your favorite Jell-O shot? What'd you have? The red one. Oh, they were the Southern lemonade.
Somebody asked if we would deliver them.
I mean, we could consider
we possibly tag it on to a pizza and Jell-O shot delivery. So,
I mean, if you're placing an order for pizza, maybe we can send them to you. Is that Canini 9 out?
It's Canini night out. Asking about delivery. I just wanted to mention something. Did you want to show that other video?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
okay.
But we're sitting here.
On our way into work today, we just took a little bit of a different route, and we came down Father Capodanno. Okay. So we drove past the testing tents that are set up by the center on the corner of Seaview Avenue and Father Capodanno, and it's a little stark to see that. And if you're sitting at home and you're a little detached from the whole situation, to see that is a real wake-up call to what's actually going on in our hospitals and what I call on the front lines. And I just wanted to shout out how much we appreciate all the hard work that the doctors, the nurses, the PCAs, the PAs, and the staff of our hospitals and nursing homes and other healthcare centers are doing to keep us healthy. And it's an incredible job. And it's not just them. I mean, you go into a grocery store, there's a clerk there taking care of people and coming across probably hundreds of people a day. So, that's a risk for them too and their families. And there's just such an appreciation for the people who are still out there getting it done. And we appreciate it. I know we do, and I'm sure you guys do too. And if there's anybody out there that's watching that's part of that, please know that it's greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Well said. And so Marco and Tina have delivered some pizzas this week. They sent over some pizzas to the 122. We saw a Facebook post. I didn't grab one from yesterday, but our buddy Danny O'Sullivan posted a picture with some pizzas that were sent over to the hospital. And so it's a thank you. Thank you for all that you guys do. I mean, you can't say it any better than that.
Thank you.
So we kicked off the week. We brought in a friend of ours, Jay, and he was talking about encouraging people and being creative and being at home and bowling. And so yesterday we shared a video of one of our very own junior bowlers, Joseph Guarneri, bowling in his backyard because he's got bowling pins and some bowling balls. And so here's another one that was shared. Daniel Bischoff is bowling in his house. Check out Daniel.
Bowling time with the All-Star champion of Daniel Bischoff going up. And the dog's in the way, but who cares? Near or miss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
I have to say, the special effects in that video and just his enthusiasm is pretty awesome. That's awesome.
I mean, he's like that when he bowls in the lanes too. So
Yes, he
I
is.
wouldn't expect anything else from my cousin. Daniel. I love it. I absolutely love it. And the dog, the dog got out of the way. Just don't hit the dog. Just the dogs, please keep your pet safe. The bowling fishing he uses.
Yes, as a sideboard, sidewall.
Sidewalls, bumpers, pins. Although, never mind, 4 legs. If you only have 6 bowling pins, you can just use their legs. Please keep posting those, share them. Hashtag bowl at home when you post those videos and post them to our page or send them to us. We want to keep sharing them with everybody else so we can get a good kick out of it. And again, keep yourself active at home.
Yes.
When I came in before, I was laughing, but poor Tina has been cooped up, and so she was doing her exercise, walking up and down the concourse. What do you call those? What are you doing? Lunges? I tried. No. I tried.
And it's an opportunity because there are so many online videos posted or workout groups that are on Facebook or in online on YouTube that you can do your own little workout at home. Do it as a family. It's a fun way to enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, and Dell was talking a little bit yesterday about what you could do at home to keep your workout, especially a bowling workout. They're already posted to their Facebook page. So if you go to the Kegel Training Center page, Bowl Fit Facebook page, there's some good videos and some good drills you can do right at home. Keep yourself active and ready for when bowling comes back in. We did have a question from Donald Clampett, and so our league's going to continue after this is all over. Hey, Don, we are in the land of the unknown, and so we are working day to day, week to week. We want to get everybody up, back and running and get our season going, and that's our promise. We will do the best that we can, working with the league officers to whether it be extend the season, shorten the season. We're not sure what we're going to do, what we're going to do yet, but it's a week by week basis. So just stay with us, stay tuned. We'll keep you updated here. Our Facebook page, and our website has information that's certainly helpful. But as we get closer, to potentially reopening, which is a little beyond our control, especially with the number of people that could be in the facility at one time. So we're on it. We're doing what we can. We have options to present to all the leagues, and so over the next week or so, we're going to take it one by one. So we appreciate you asking the question.
Yeah, and we hope they can continue, and we hope we can fit everything in. I mean, that's our ultimate goal. But like Frank said, everything is so up in the air right now that we're still working towards some solutions.
Yeah, and so Ray, your buddy Kevin Rourke is reminding us of the glare that you keep talking about.
Very nice, Kev. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He's hiding behind Stephanie's name.
Listen, this is why you have to listen to your parents. When I was a kid, 15, 16, my hair was down to here. My father said, "You're going to pay someday." He got me. He got me. Listen to your father.
And listen, Kevin's, Kevin's.
He's catching up.
I know that. I'm taking pictures every week.
So the rest of the week, we've got, again, we keep talking about the busy rest of the week, but we want to make sure that that you know what to expect. So tomorrow's Thursday, right?
That is the most frustrating thing. I am starting to lose track of what day it is. And I'm trying to keep track of when they're coming to pick up my garbage. And I don't know if I'm putting out cardboard or garbage or my can. It's a little frustrating. So yeah, I always kept track of the day by who was in the bowling center. So now there's nobody in the bowling center. Every day is the same.
It's true. So last night I come home and I go back outside and I'm looking and I see garbage outside. I'm going, but it's Monday. I thought it was Monday. So I went in the house. I said, to everyone, I said, today's Monday, right? Yeah.
Everybody agreed.
Everybody agreed that it was Monday. And then I looked outside again and I see garbage and I'm going, something's not right. Wait a second. No, today's Tuesday. But my garbage was always based on bowling night. So
exactly.
Tuesday night I would come home from bowling and then put the garbage out. But now that we bowl Monday, I bowl Monday and Tuesday. That is totally thrown off because I get home on Monday and want to put garbage out, let alone what happened to me last night. Right. And then I went outside. I was like, I was still questioning whether I should be putting garbage out.
Thank God for good neighbors. Thank God for good neighbors.
Yes, and I always do that little check. I'm always looking at it. Right? And then have you ever experienced you being the only person putting the garbage out?
Happens all the time. Is it the right day? Nobody else has garbage out, but.
And I haven't looked at the calendar, so you just don't know. So so tomorrow is Thursday. Thursday. Chad Murphy, the executive director of USPC, our friend Chad, is going to come on and join us. And the rest of the week and weekend looks pretty fun. What do we got, man? It's
shaping up very nicely. We will have Chad Murphy, obviously, tomorrow. Pam Silvestri, the Staten Island Advanced food editor, is going to be joining us on Friday. And if you have any food questions, restaurant questions, the food scene on Staten Island has definitely changed in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years. And it's pretty exciting on Staten Island. You could get anything you want probably within a 10-minute drive.
A 10-minute drive. We're not driving, but delivery.
Yes. Oh, right now it's delivery. Yes. So
Naz was really originally cooking cooked chicken last night, and so she texted me, and the chicken went in the refrigerator. But what did you do last night?
So last night I happened to get an email from Sophia's Taqueria, and they had Taco Tuesday special. So I was like, chicken, you're going back in the fridge, and we're having tacos. And it was really good. It was so great that I didn't have to cook anything, put everything out on the counter. Whoever came and ate, and we had a good time. It was especially nice that I didn't have to cook it.
I love their food too. Their tacos.
Food was great.
This is not a paid commercial. This is not a real life experience.
On Saturday, which is now seems to be PBA Saturday or Pro Bowler Saturday, Joe Cal and Joe Bruno will be returning to interview PBA and PWBA champion Kelly Kulik, which we're really excited about. We're happy to see Kelly. Be happy to find out how she's keeping busy in her time at home, probably cooking up a storm, and hopefully, I'm going to mention it again, she will dance for us, hopefully.
We're making promises. I did mention it to her. So, and speaking of dancing, Megan Guzman said she's working out at home by dancing. So
send your dance videos.
Have you seen some people dance? Nancy Richards, former teacher of mine at New York High School, comedian, love her to death, and every day she's dancing to a new song, and it's absolutely hysterical from her kitchen. But I'm starting to see a little bit more of that. I mean, people are going stir crazy. So
yes,
what do you do? And then we round out the rest of the week. So we're here 2 p.m. every day until further notice. And right now, until further notice, happens to be Sunday. Sunday, we're coming to you at dinner time at 7 p.m. So tune in 2 p.m. the rest of the week until we hit Sunday special time, 7 p.m. And we hope you'll join us. Continue to join us the rest of the week.
Special weekend. It's going to be great. These shows coming up are going to be really, really good. You got to stay tuned. Share. Tell your friends to tune in.
So like, share. If you are viewing this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our page.
Smash the button.
I don't know if is it here. Is it here? Yeah. I'm not really sure. We're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to look at where it might be. And then when you go to do it, because you don't know which way you're looking at the camera, it's still wrong.
The opposite, right?
It's like this way. So continue to join us. We miss you too. There's a couple of comments that say we love you, thank you. But really, we kick this off by saying we miss seeing your faces. And I mean, we do. We don't know, without seeing your faces, we don't know what day it is.
It helps us keep order in our life.
Oh, it certainly does. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you again to Greg. Greg, certainly some great insight, and we know we'll hear more from him.
Yes.
But stay tuned, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Enjoy your rest of your day.
Wash your hands. Don't touch
your face.
Stay inside. Please stay inside and practice social distancing. We'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.